This is Sunrise Extra, streaming live on Wave Now.
And good Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock. Hope you've had a great week so far. It's flying by, isn't it?
And what a week we've had weather-wise, too, because, I mean, on Monday we started in the single digits, and now we're up to 50 degrees. Hey.
And you wonder why your meteorologists are always stressed out. This is why, because Mother Nature just wants to do everything in a week. But this is what we're dealing with right now. Thankfully, a quiet morning. The storm tracker continuing to travel across the metro and not seeing any issues with the weather as you head on out. Now, plenty of clouds are overhead this morning, but still grab the sunglasses because these clouds are not going to stick around all day long. We're sitting in the 40s right now, 43 for those of you in Bedford, 46 in the Frankfort, 45 for those of you in Hardinsburg. But once you roll into the afternoon with more of that sunshine, we are going to try to climb into the 50s for your highs. So not even really needing a heavy coat for today. A jacket could do you good. Now keep an eye on the Wave weather app because we are going to be watching for more rain moving our way tomorrow. Rob?
Tawana, thanks so much. It's 7:01. Good morning to you if you're just joining us. Nice mild start out there, but not so mild when it comes to some of our busy areas on the roadways. Take a look at this. This is still the scene at Snyder eastbound lanes at New Cut Road after a two-car crash about an hour ago. TriMark telling us that the crash itself has been cleared, but you see the residual effects there, bumper to bumper traffic. It looks like it's going to be like that for a while. So certainly if you're going out in that area, pay attention to the detour signs or at the lanes closure signs because it's going to be like that. It looks like for at least a little while longer. Otherwise, look at the big picture right now. Not too bad. A couple of delays because of some disabled vehicles, so watch out for those. The traffic camera is looking clear and pretty easy going right now. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the morning. Over to you.
Thank you. Today, LMPD will release body camera video that shows officers shooting a man they say had a gun.
For one of the officers involved, it was not his first time shooting a suspect. Officers Michael Crow and Austin Taylor shot and killed a man on Red Deer Circle on December 4th. He was identified as 32-year-old Casey Barnes. Police say Barnes was pointing a gun at a woman. Investigators say officers Crow and Taylor told Barnes to drop the gun before they shot him. LMPD is expected to release the video at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Officer Crow was previously given a reprimand for actions he took when shooting a suspect in 2021. LMPD says back then, Crow violated policy by not activating his lights and sirens during a chase of a stolen vehicle that led up to that shooting. They also say his body cam was not in a proper position to record his actions. That man shot did survive his injuries. Investigators later found that shooting was justified.
We're learning more about a new timeline for Ford to repurpose operations at a battery plant in Hardin County. Ford is ending its partnership with Korean manufacturer SK On, who is in charge of the plant in Glendale right now. The split between the two companies should be made official by the end of March. Ford will take sole ownership then of the factory. SK is expected to lay off 1,600 employees as a consequence. Ford says it plans to repurpose the factory and help some of those workers. The company says it is committed to bringing 2,100 jobs to the plant once it's retooled. The plant will produce batteries designed to support data centers and other large companies. The changes between Ford and SK comes as Ford is refocusing its electric vehicle strategy.
Ford's Louisville assembly plant is expected to be part of the investment. Wave News reporter Kirsten Foote has more on the changes coming to the assembly plant that start today. Kirsten?
Ashton and Olivia, Ford's Louisville assembly plant is expected to shut down today for an extended period of time to prepare for new electric vehicle production. Back in August, Ford executives announced the Ford Universal EV production system and the Ford Universal EV platform, a strategy to build electric vehicles in America. The $2 billion investment will abandon the traditional assembly line and create 2,200 full-time jobs. In August, union leaders said that they were expecting layoffs due to the retooling, but no one will be unemployed.
We're confident that we're going to come back with the workers that we have, and everybody will have a job. Everybody will have a place to work. You know, there might be some transfers, you know, from plant to plant, but we know that everybody's going to have a job.
When LAP gets rolling again, Ford will introduce a new EV midsize truck expected to be here in 2027 at a base price of $30,000. And this news comes as Ford officially ended production of the F-150 Lightning this month, instead opting for an extended range version of the vehicle. Kirsten Foote. Wave News.
Thanks, Kirsten. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a crash that led to a fire at an apartment building off Westport Road. LMPD says the T-bone crash happened at the intersection of Langdon Drive near an AutoZone and McDonald's. That force caused a black SUV to hit a gas line and ended up smashing into the Rolling Hills apartment complex. Fire crews then had to evacuate parts of the apartment. No one was hurt in the fire, but firefighters say some people stepped in to help, too, at the right time.
Oh my gosh, it's community, right? Like, so we talk about emergency response and police and fire and EMS and everybody work together on this scene in order to keep people safe. And that's what we're ultimately here for. And the police don't even have equipment to go into situations like that, and they're running up into it.
I just got off work. I was on my way to physical therapy, actually, and I saw this. I'm like, well, we're not going to therapy today. We're going to make sure my coworker's okay.
Police say the driver who hit the building was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. The other driver got medical treatment at the scene.
A new Democrat will be joining lawmakers in Frankfort for the start of the General Assembly. Democrat Gary Clemens won a special election for the District 37 Senate seat with 73% of the vote. That district covers parts of southwest Jefferson County. Clemens beat out Republican candidate Calvin Leach and Libertarian candidate Wendy Higdon. Clemens is an Army veteran and president of Louisville's chapter of United Steelworkers Local. He will succeed David Yates, who was recently appointed Jefferson County clerk.
New this morning, Indiana Governor Mike Braun says redistricting won't be brought up again this legislative session. It comes after a bill to change Indiana's congressional voting maps. Excuse me, it was rejected by the Indiana Senate. The plan was supported by Governor Braun and President Trump. The map could have potentially led to 2 more Republicans from Indiana in Congress. 21 Senate Republicans joined Democrats in voting against the map changes. The governor says it revealed a disconnect between the party.
I don't think that can be resurrected in this session, but I think it plays out in a broader way. But again, if you try to generalize on it, I think it's a mistake because it's a national issue that put us out of sync with all other states, the administration, large majority of Republicans and conservatives in this state. I think you let it rest there.
The governor says he wants lawmakers in Indianapolis to focus on health care reform, education, and continued efforts to rein in costs.
A JCPS elementary school teacher is in jail after police say she used the NTI day to host a sexual conversation with one of her 5th grade students. Sydney Graff is a 5th grade math teacher at Smyrna Elementary School. LMPD says they captured screenshots and video recordings of inappropriate conversations she had with a student. They also say Graff planned to meet with the student. In an email sent to Smyrna Elementary families, the school principal says Graff will be reassigned and won't have any contact with students during the investigation. Graff is scheduled to be back in court next Friday. Parents of St. X students are suing JCPS after a bleacher rail collapsed during a post-game celebration at Wagner High School. The collapse happened back in October after St. X beat their rival Trinity during a regional soccer game. The district and the bleacher maker are both named in the lawsuit. That lawsuit claims negligence and breach of warranty. Records the Wave troubleshooters obtained show an engineering analysis blamed the students' behavior for overloading the strength limit of the railing. We reached out to the bleacher maker and JCPS for comment, but the school district says they don't comment on pending lawsuits.
A community resource that has helped families following the deadly UPS plane crash close its doors tomorrow. The Community Resource Center on High Rise Drive will shut down at 4 Thursday. Metro leaders opened the center after the crash to help families and businesses get back on their feet. 14 people were killed in the crash, including the 3 crew members on board Flight 2976. The 11 other people killed were on the ground and 23 others were hurt. Businesses still looking for help or updates on applications for assistance can call 800-659-2955. Well, coming up, maybe you're still doing some holiday shopping. Well, there are a lot of places you can hit in Orton Commons.
Wave News reporter Marissa Berg tells us about some good spots that you can do that last-minute shopping or even some decorating.
Well, good morning, 7-Eleven right now. When you shop local, reports say about 67 cents of every dollar will stay in your community. And Norton Commons says, hey, come on out and check out the shops in our neighborhood.
And as we count down the days until Christmas, owners continue to ask people to buy local. Wave News reporter Marissa Burke is at Norton Commons this morning with florist Venus Markham, and she shows us how to make some wreaths from scratch.
They have a couple of ideas and you can pick the brain of Venus. So we have a wreath here. You guys just hosted wreath making classes.
We did.
So what's the best way to attack a wreath like this?
So typically with your wreath, you just start with first pick out your bow. So do you want a silver bow or red bow, gold bow?
Okay, we like our pop of color.
Or plaid or whatever kind of bow you want. And then you just pick out any embellishments. So we've got some little flowers. A lot of people like to use the little ornaments. We've got some mistletoe, little candy cane. We've got some pine cones. Really whatever your style and taste is. And you just kind of place it on there and
just watch it grow.
Yeah. Sometimes people like the bows at the bottom. That's kind of the traditional way. Sometimes, we've seen them over to the left-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys are also helping out with, the table decorations because that's another staple for the holidays.
Yeah. So we're taking orders now through Monday afternoon. If you want to order a table centerpiece for the holiday, give us a call at 693-9671 or visit us at bloomflorist.com to get your order in, and we'll take care of you.
And today is also fun day over at Bloom Florist because
Santa's coming. Santa will be here at 9, and we'll also have some donuts. So come out, see Santa Claus, get your pictures made.
How long is Santa going to be around?
Honestly, I think it depends on the crowd. So, it could be a little over an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's so much to look forward to. If you still need some help with your holiday decorations, you can come out to Bloom Florist over in Norton Commons. But remember, there's so many other shops, so you can just walk on in and finish out your holiday Christmas list. Marissa Burke, Wave News.
Thank you, Marissa. By the way, if you need to ship out those holiday gifts, you want to probably try to get it in the mail today. The Postal Service says today's a deadline if you want your gift to arrive by Christmas using Ground Advantage. Otherwise, you're looking at paying a little bit more for first class or priority mail. I went to the post office yesterday. I was expecting a long line. Not too bad.
Don't say that because now people are going to think they can just walk on in and be just fine. So, risky.
Yeah, just make sure you are planning ahead, budget the extra time, and get those gifts now before we see some more of that active weather trying to show up as we head into next week. Now, what we're dealing with right now across the area, those temperatures in the 40s, 43 degrees for those of you in Bedford, 45 in Columbia, 48 at the airport in Louisville. Just patiently waiting for that sun to come up. So we're keeping an eye on everything right now as you look at that SkyTrack camera in New Albany. Plenty of clouds overhead this morning, and those are going to linger throughout the morning. Not much to see in terms of active weather across wave country or across most of the Ohio Valley. Save that one cold front off towards our north right now. Now, we are going to keep an eye on a front that will move through, but that won't be until tomorrow. So for today, we're talking about the clouds clearing out this morning, more sunshine this afternoon, highs trying to get into the 50s. And for tonight, we're going to hover in the 40s across the region before we deal with more rounds of rain showing up on your Thursday. For tomorrow, a few spotty showers, some drizzle for the morning hours. We get towards lunch, start to pick up those rain chances, some more scattered showers and thunderstorms then we head further into the afternoon. Rain chances go up even more with the cold front itself. We could see a few stronger storms with that front for your Thursday evening before everything clears out, including the clouds. Then more clouds move right back into early on Friday, and those will come along with some colder temperatures and that potential for some light snow. A marginal risk of severe weather is in place for most of the region for tomorrow as we monitor the damaging wind threat with any of those thunderstorms. Now, keep in mind, outside of that, it's still going to be a windy day with those gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour possible. We get into your Friday morning, some flurries flying, a few snow showers possible here and there. So we'll keep an eye on that for the Friday morning time frame. A bigger issue could be potentially the quick drop in temperatures that we see Friday morning and the potential for some slick roads that will come along with that. But it does look like the wind that we'll have overnight into Friday morning could help to limit that potential. We'll watch it. Still windy on Saturday as we turn into the 50s for highs. We'll cool down into the 40s on Sunday, and we'll see the mild, warmer weather for next week, including for Christmas Eve and for Christmas Day.
Thank you. The search continues this morning for the gunman who shot and killed 2 students and injured 9 more at Brown University last Saturday.
Investigators have released a new video timeline of the movements of a person of interest in the case. A poster released by the FBI describes the person as about 5 feet 8 inches tall with a stocky build. Officials are offering a reward of up to $50,000 for information that leads to an arrest and conviction. Investigators say the person in these photos and videos should be considered armed and dangerous.
We're asking the public to ensure that they can see here that you want to focus on the body movements, the way the person moved their arms, the body posture, the way they carry their weight. I think those are important movement patterns that may help you identify this individual, which is extremely important.
Classes and exams for the rest of the semester have been canceled. A person of interest in the shooting was questioned and then released Sunday night and cleared in the investigation.
Today, Nick Reiner is scheduled to be arraigned in Los Angeles after his parents, Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle, were found stabbed to death. The 32-year-old has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Authorities say he used a knife to kill his parents. He's also charged with a special allegation for using a dangerous and deadly weapon. Nick Reiner had been living in his parents' guest house at the time of their murders. According to someone close to the situation, the family has been open about Nick's past struggles with addiction.
It was known to us and known to other people who were close to Rob and Michelle that Nick had a substance abuse problem.
Nick Reiner's charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. He's currently being held without bail. Rob and Michelle Reiner were found dead Sunday.
New this morning, one of the men accused of killing 15 people at a Hanukkah celebration in Australia is now facing 59 charges. Police say 24-year-old Naveed Akram was charged in a Sydney hospital. 15 of the counts are murder charges. Investigators say he and his father were inspired by ISIS to carry out the attack. 15 people were killed, 42 people were injured. Police say Akram's father was the second shooter. He was shot and killed by officers. Meanwhile, the Jewish community here in Louisville says the shooting in Australia has brought new meaning to their Hanukkah celebrations. A menorah lighting was held at the 4th Street Live last night. Organizers worry the devastating anti-Semitic attack in Australia would discourage some people from showing up, but for others, it had the opposite effect. They said the attack is all the more reason to stand together, be proud of what they believe in, and not let anti-Semitism win.
I think the fact that this attack happened at this happy occasion, this bright occasion, this illumination occasion, is just darkness trying to shut us down, to shut down good people, to shut down happiness and kindness and faith.
And as a precaution, there was extra security there at the event last night.
And still ahead, if you're not sure what to do with that real Christmas tree after the holidays, the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife can help.
Hear about the environmentally friendly option to dispose your tree after the break.
The Metro Council's now moving ahead with some changes for the site where the old Givaudan factory used to be.
The explosion at the plant last November killed 2 people and injured 11 more. Rob Wells is here with a closer look. Rob?
And Olivia, a vent failed on a cooking vessel inside that factory. Several homes and businesses in the Clifton neighborhood were all damaged. Givaudan says that it won't rebuild at that site. Last night, Metro Council passed a resolution to get the Planning Commission to consider changing the property zoning from an industrial use to something a little more appropriate for a residential area. Neighbors told the council that after last year's blast and a deadly explosion in April 2003, they don't feel safe in their own homes.
My home is 800 feet from the explosion. My home was damaged. My husband and I were at home. We felt the explosion in our chest from the wave. We Clifton neighbors are asking the body to please support the resolution from Councilman Owen.
The council sent the rezoning consideration to the planning committee with 17 yes votes and 9 no votes. Of course, we'll keep you posted as we learn more details about the future of that site. Shannon.
Thank you, Rob. The holiday season is still underway, but then after the holidays, what are you going to do with that real Christmas tree? Well, Kentucky Fish and Wildlife has an idea. It's part of their annual Christmas for the Fishes program. The trees can help underwater habitats thrive in lakes and reservoirs across Kentucky. You're asked to donate real Christmas trees from December 26th through January 16th at 37 drop-off sites across the Commonwealth. That Powerball jackpot just keeps on climbing because no one has yet drawn those winning numbers.
But there was another ticket worth cash sold here in Louisville. The winning ticket worth $50,000 was sold yesterday at a Kroger Fuel Center on Beulah Church Road. The winning ticket matched 4 of the 5 white ball numbers and the Powerball. Winners have 180 days from the winning drawing to claim their prize money. And the Kentucky Lottery says there are 5 unclaimed winning tickets worth $50,000 each and 2 unclaimed tickets that are worth $100,000 each. Most tickets are from different drawings dating back to September 3rd, all bought at different locations. So if you bought a Powerball ticket within the past 3 months, you'll want to double check it. Prize money must be claimed at lottery headquarters here in Louisville. So get your money if you were a winner.
Yes, for sure. Don't let that go. We'll be right back.
This Wave News Update is sponsored by Oxmoor Auto Group.
Good morning. I'm Shannon Kogan. Ford's Louisville assembly plant is expected to shut down today for a huge retooling project. In August, Ford executives announced the Ford Universal EV production system and the Ford Universal EV platform. It's a strategy to build electric vehicles in America. The $2 billion investment will abandon the traditional assembly line and create 2,200 full-time jobs. In August, union leaders said they were expecting layoffs due to the retooling. Here's meteorologist Tawana Andrew. How we looking?
Warmer today. That is going to be a nice break from the frigid air that we have been dealing with recently. Right now, we're sitting mainly in the 40s across our region. Nothing too shabby there. We have the clouds overhead and some sunshine trying to get through. More of that sunshine is expected later on today. But for the morning, going to keep a lot of these clouds around. Then we'll really watch them clearing after lunch and into the afternoon. That should allow our temperatures to climb into the low to mid 50s for afternoon highs. Then for tonight, we're going to just hover in the 40s across the region before we warm up again for tomorrow. Keep in mind that your Thursday is going to be windy and wet across the region. Once we get into Friday, some snow showers trying to fly by in some spots, and then we'll see some mild weather sticking around for the weekend. Rob?
Tawana, thanks so much. At 7:28, after a two-car crash in the area, we've got to contend with a lot of backups because of construction. Where are we talking about? Right here, Snyder eastbound lanes at New Cut Road. It is down to just bumper-to-bumper traffic in that area. It's been like that for about an hour and a half. Again, that was a two-car crash just before 6. That's been cleaned up, but now construction has it down to just a few lanes there. So certainly watch your speed throughout that area as you head out this morning. Otherwise, not looking too bad throughout the metro. The yellow icon showing you a few slowdowns because of disabled vehicles. Make it a great morning. We'll see you in another 25 minutes from now.